Ask any Jamaican what them love about yard, and they will tell you a whole heap of nice things. But ask them what them they like about Jamaica, and the majority of people will say crime and violence. We have to change that conversation. We have to play our part by standing up for justice, brotherhood, and peace. We have to do this in service of our fellow citizens as we advance the welfare of this beautiful country, Jamaica. Our mission today is to outline government's stance on crime.
We as a government has decided to make tackling crime our #1 priority.
And help to restore national pride.
Jamaica, we will always in honor of thy name. Work steadfastly and wisely, and never bring thee shame.
I am Theodore Henry. As we approach our emancipation and independence period as a nation, let us unite for a safe Jamaica.
Simasia Osbande, ima one of the biggest joggies.
Wait, somebody a scream.
Lord, them a bun down rice work and never pay the extortion money.
Who them man there? How would them a do Jackie liquidator?
It's serious times. Speak up for justice and keep your eyes open. When you hear about any crime, report it. Silence brings violence.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Good day, I'm Tamara McHale, and this is your GIS News for Thursday, July 14. Jamaica continues to see a positive trend in revenue and grants, according to the latest report from the Economic Program Oversight Committee, EPOC. While addressing EPOC's monthly briefing on Wednesday, Co-Chairman Richard Biles pointed to the $70.1 billion recorded in May, which was significantly ahead of budget. He hailed Tax Administration Jamaica for improvements in its tax collection mechanisms, which led to strong tax revenue of $67.6 billion compared to a budget of $63.8 billion.
It looks to me like the tax administration really is getting on top of this issue of tax collection. Certainly they are performing much closer to budget and beating budget pretty regularly now.
Expenditures, meanwhile, continue to be below budget due to the late approval of the 2016-2017 budget. This, coupled with the positive performance of revenues and grants, accounted for a strong primary surplus balance of $17.5 billion in May compared to a budget of $8 billion. EPOC's co-chairman says other economic markers were also positive, including the net international reserves, which stood at $2.3 billion at the end of June, in excess of the International Monetary Fund target of $1.81 billion. On June 17, the IMF's Executive Board completed the combined 11th and 12th reviews under the Extended Fund Facility for Jamaica, enabling the disbursement of approximately $80 million to the country. A Port Community System PCS has been launched to manage all trade logistics processes. The PCS is an open electronic platform which enables the secure exchange of information between public and private stakeholders in the port community.
It will enhance the operations of the logistics activities by encouraging and promoting more efficient and effective trading practices, while at the same time increasing the velocity of decision-making and effectiveness, resulting in a reduction in the cost of doing business in Jamaica.
The system will be implemented over the next 18 months by Sojet SA under the oversight of the Port Authority of Jamaica. It will be integrated with Customs Asikuda World to provide a modern and effective trade and logistics platform that will position Jamaica as a major hub in the logistics chain.
Part of what we're doing here is to reduce not only the process in terms of time and improve our trade logistic business process, it improves transparency and reduce corruption.
Agriculture Minister Carl Samuda says an agreement should be in place by September for new investors to support the operations of the Long Pond Sugar Factory in Trelawney. He says the ministry is working with the owners of Everglades, which operates the factory, to conclude the negotiations.
I would say certainly within a month, we should have a very definitive position on exactly what stage the negotiations are at. They should be complete, decisions taken, and the plan outlined to everybody. I can assure you that through your chairman, we will communicate the results as they occur on a real-time basis.
Minister Samuda was addressing employees and cane farmers during a tour of the Long Pond factory on July 8. He said getting new investors on board would keep the factory open and viable and allow cane farmers to prepare for the 2017 sugar crop. Government temporarily took over the management of Long Pond earlier this year to keep it operational while new investors are courted. Meanwhile, the Bureau of Standards Jamaica BSJ has been mandated to reinforce measures to address import breaches of refined sugar for use in the manufacturing sector.
Bureau of Standards have been given instructions, and they have to produce that within the next 2 months maximum, where every single bag of sugar must bear the seal of the Bureau of Standards. And anywhere we go and find one bag that don't have that seal, we're seizing it and we're going to charge those who have it in them place.
The Commerce Minister says Jamaica cannot sacrifice its sugar industry to the bad practices of some manufacturers.
Get duty-free concessions as manufacturers and import that sugar from sources where we're not even sure of the quality of the sugar. They bring it in and they sell it into the retail trade at an enormous profit. It undermines those who are engaged in the industry, and we're going to put a stop to it.
Government will once again be using the success of the country's athletes at the Olympics to garner investment for the country. A promotional concept, Jamaica House, which was launched at the 2012 London Olympics, will be established at next month's games under the banner Jamaica House Rio 2016. Jamaica House Rio 2016 will be established in the southern zone of Rio, located at the Prado restaurant between August 10 and 21. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says much thought was given to which products will be showcased in the promotional activity.
It's not just about saying to the world, here we are as a great athletic power. It's also saying to the world, here we are as a country, as a destination where you can invest, where you can enjoy relaxation, where you can have fun, and also where you can live, raise your family, and retire in peace.
For her part, Sport Minister Olivia Green says government is committed to incorporating sport as part of the economic growth agenda.
We see sport as a critical asset to be further developed as a means to bring prosperity to our people.
Sponsorship accounts for $400,000 of the $767,000 budget for Jamaica House Rio 2016. And finally, Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Opposition Leader Portia Simpson-Miller have both congratulated Theresa May on her appointment as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. In a letter sent yesterday, Prime Minister Holness pointed to Jamaica's long and mutually beneficial relationship with the UK and said he was looking forward to strengthening the bonds of friendship and cooperation. He noted the enormity of the assignment and wished Miss May every success in the discharge of her responsibilities. Mrs. Simpson-Miller similarly pointed out that the new British Prime Minister was assuming office at a time of formidable challenges and opportunities for her country, and extended best wishes to her, the government, and people of the UK. The leader of the opposition has also extended best wishes to former British Prime Minister David Cameron. And that's it for GIS News today. I'm Tamara McHale. Thanks for watching.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Government is strengthening its crime-fighting strategies with stronger legislation, social intervention, and a swift justice system, just to name a few. National Security Minister Robert Montego gave a comprehensive outline in his presentation to the sectoral debate.
We as a government has decided to make tackling crime our #1 priority. The police are targeting a 60% clear-up rate for murders. We intend to help them to go further. We are strengthening the investigative abilities of the force, making them more mobile, increasing training, and treating with this bail issue. We will seek to have an increase in the mandatory minimum sentences for gun crimes, trafficking, and possession, escalating depending on the type of weapon. The minimum should only be reduced by the plea bargaining process. We will seek to have all gun murders classified as capital murder. We will seek this year by better application of the plea bargaining law to reduce or eliminate the penalty if credible information is given in order to retrieve a gun or disrupt the trade. We want to create a wedge between the community and criminals who possess guns. In that regard, increased monetary rewards will be offered for information. We have devised a strategy that has 5 elements that will provide the basis of a short to long-term program that fits within the objectives of Vision 2030 and the realities of our resources. The first element, Mr. Speaker, deals with the justice system. We need swift and sure justice in Jamaica. The second element is social development. The third element is situational prevention. How to change the current situation, reducing opportunities for crime, and give our people hope. Our fourth element is effective policing. A community-based approach to policing is essential if we are to restore yours, Mr. Speaker, and the people's trust and confidence in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We intend to launch a consultative committee in every parish and for every police station. We will utilize this cadre of people to assist in reducing domestic-related violence. We intend to increase the neighborhood watches and youth clubs. The fifth and final element is rehabilitation and redemption. We must redirect our inmates from a path of crime. I will now detail as much as I can some of the actions we are pursuing in order to protect our borders, minimize the terrorist risk, reduce crime, and grow the economy. We are going to be putting in place a broad-based committee headed by Dr. Orville Taylor to involve representatives from civil society, the media, trade unions, academia, and other sector interests. The committee will guide on policy, set standards, and evaluate benchmarks and give general advice to me as Minister on national security and our policies. One of their first tasks will be to set a timetable on all the recommendations that have been made over the last 20 years for implementation. The Evaluation Center in the ministry is already compiling all the studies and recommendations. This administration is going to, over a 3-year period, make the largest investment in the national security apparatus in our history. We are not talking millions, but billions. We will invest because we want a safer Jamaica, safer communities, and safer homes. The movement of drugs, people, and guns is too free and frequent. We have ordered an audit of our borders. We, along with the Ministry of Agriculture, will be acquiring the appropriate technology and deploying it to treat with the security on our borders and for our resources. On the legislative front, we intend to be very active. A National Security Act, the Police Civilian Oversight Commission Act, we intend to place pre-deal laws under the Proceeds of Crime Act, amend the Offensive Weapon Act to include more knives. We intend to bring to Parliament in short order the MOCA bill. This will, in effect, make MOCA a standalone agency. As a country, we cannot afford crime. I urge everyone to help, and everyone can. Download the Stay Alert app from the Google Play Store. Take pictures, text, videotape, anything and everything and send it to the police. Be your own police. Use the camera on your phone as your weapon, your safety device, your bodyguard. It is your means of contributing to a safer Jamaica. This government will lead, but we need your help in creating a safer country.
Up next, Jamaica Festival Song Competition of the 80s and 90s and the changes that took place during that era.
It was also the beginning of a new era in the festival song competition. The foundation was already laid in the 60s and 70s, producing songs that document Jamaica's culture, heritage, and the spirit of the people. But with the 80s and 90s came changes, with some songs having a different sound.
She go, she stop, she go. Hey, I want a woman. I need someone.
The sing started around 80. It talking over the rhythm. You follow what I'm saying? So it created a whole new thing where the dance different and the whole attitude different. So it was known here as melodic and as sweet as the 60s, 70s.
And there were other changes. In 1994, word came from the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, JCDC, that the then 29-year-old festival song competition would be renamed the Popular Song Competition. The aim? To represent the music of the day and to somehow cause the music to have appeal beyond the independence period.
The festival song too, if you check a lot of them, whenever festival come out, the songs they were kind of like a mental, more jump up feel to it. I guess because they wanted to be celebratory. You have a kind of, you know, so even though rock set might be on or a slower beat might be on at the time, people still think say during festival you need something for. So you find the artists who enter or the producer tend to inject, in my view, more of a mentor, which is our indigenous music anyway. And then again, because you call it festival song, the shelf life is very limited. A festival song seldom lives after independence. It is used to drum up feelings and excitement up to festival. After that, so sales and things will be gone.
The change also set out to attract younger artists who were into reggae and dancehall and persuade the more established ones to participate.
There was this feeling among them that when they enter festival, they are stigmatized as a festival singer, and so they didn't see themselves entering it. And worst of all, they feared entering. And one of them know the man from the rural parishes, be them. You see, they couldn't live with that, right? So I was saying, no, we have a change the name from festival to popular. It would remove the stigma or lessen the dislike for it.
To the younger artists, however, they saw the festival stage as an opportunity to shine. The name change did not affect the success of the competition, but in 2008, JCDC decided to go back to its original name.
I didn't get the kind of response I thought it would have caused by changing the name and having these more reputed artists entering. It didn't happen. But the public didn't say, well, but years after, they figured the tradition should be maintained. Let's go back to festival song contest.
And though the name brand artists stayed away, three-time winner of the 70s, Eric Donaldson, continued, winning 4 more times in the 80s and 90s, the most of any festival singer to date.
But I am proud to be Jamaican, and I love the island.
Another high point of the festival song competition in the 80s and 90s, it produced the first female winner.
Mr. Give me back me sweet Jamaica, me land of sugar and rum. Give me back me sweet Jamaica, me little island in the sun.
This period also gave rise to the popular Give Thanks and Praise artist Roy Rayon. He took home the top prize 4 times.
So give thanks and praises, we are still alive. Going walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we survive.
It was a joyous time for Jamaicans all over. We were proud, it had meaning, it had substance, and you were very proud as a Jamaican to sing that song.
My first time I entered would have been 1980. And it's not true that every time Roy Rayon entered, he won, not true. I've won some second prizes, but they don't count. The top prize is what is most important.
Other multiple winners included the Astronauts and Stanley Beckford with 3 each. Contributing to the success of the 80s and 90s were the road shows.
Because our songs really and truly, they got exposure. Great exposure. You were going island-wide doing 14 shows. The songs were, you one song, each song was playing like 3-4 times, 5, could be up to 6 times per day. That's the sort of rotation for up to 6 weeks. So so you monitor that. You don't care if you didn't like a song. Everybody knew every song.
Over the years, the JCDC has ensured that the festival song competition continues to produce memorable celebratory songs, creating a kind of hypnotism that draws people to the finals year after year to support their favorites.
So I've kept it going from 63 or 66 till now. First of all, it's a major achievement. And I think it's a flagship item on the JCDC's showcasing of our culture each year.
All nations have the sensation, and every nation have the moderation. This is the time for a happy meditation. Nobody of us enjoy the celebration, yeah. Mama, daddy, auntie, daughter, and youth man, enjoy yourself in your homeland. A little more, I and I rope in, go rubber dub it, pana I will lick a scene.
Let's celebrate Jamaica to the world. Fastest man in the world. First Jamaican woman to win gold in Olympic 100-meter sprint. An upcoming global superstar. Mouth-watering meals. And a vibrant set of people. We are Jamaicans. Let's get together and bring back the love.
Our athletes are preparing to make us proud at the Olympics in Brazil. That's just a few weeks from now, and some of them are facing minor injuries. But thanks to technology, the treatment of injuries is well advanced. Here are some of the methods used.
Muscles, ligaments, tissues and bones, if they are active in any form of sporting activity or exercise, they are vulnerable to injuries. When this happens, sports medicine is administered, and increasingly this service is getting more high-tech. The outlook for an injured athlete is far more hopeful today than it was many years ago. Why? Because sports medicine has developed some near miraculous ways to help athletes heal and in most cases return them to the sporting arena. One area of advancement in sports medicine is arthroscopic surgery. This is where a small fiber optic scope, a flexible wired video camera, is inserted through the skin for an inside view.
This is surgery where we make very small incisions, and using special equipment, a very good scope, something we can look inside the joint, very good camera, and then instruments which are very small. We can try and correct what's inside, and that could be everything from meniscal repairs to anterior cruciate ligament reconstruction to all sorts of things in the knee, the shoulder, the ankle, the wrist, the elbow, whichever joint.
These small cuts result in less trauma, swelling and scar tissue, not to mention hospitalization and rehabilitation, which have reduced significantly. Another useful tool in the assessment of injuries is the X-ray machine. This gives a photographic view of the injury before the appropriate treatment is prescribed. With most injuries, early mobilization, that is, getting the injured part moving as soon as possible, will speed up the healing process. This usually starts with gentle range of motion exercises, which brings us to the physical or hands-on approach to sports medicine, referred to as rehabilitation treatment. Special techniques are applied to observe how the joint moves in range and flexibility, as well as the function of each muscle and how they work together. It also involves a physiotherapist stretching the tendons and muscles if they are too tight. The aim, to get the injured athlete aligned, balanced, flexible, and strong enough to perform. Massage is another form of physical therapy which involves pressing or rubbing to soothe tense muscles and increase blood flow to the injured area. The treatment of athletes has increased due to more specialists entering the field. In Jamaica, a leader in that area is the University of the West Indies, which now has specialized programs to train sports doctors and physiotherapists from Jamaica and the region.
And to that extent, you will notice that there are teams which are touring the Caribbean who will preferentially have their treatment done in Jamaica, mostly at the University Hospital. And you'll also notice that a lot of the Jamaican athletes are actually getting their treatment, and athletes throughout the Caribbean are coming for their treatment in Jamaica.
Exercise is vital to our physical health, and for athletes it is fulfilling to do what they love. But more important, it is comforting to know that when an injury occurs, the technology to bring about healing is available.
Our national song and pledge are there to remind us of our civic duty as citizens. Today's program ends in a little while, but you can stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm, or our YouTube channel. Keep sending your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or tweet at JISnews. We'll be back tomorrow. So on behalf of the production crew, I am Theodore Henry, saying thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.